to start, I just made a couple of headings to start us off. So these were the 4 that I went with. I'm gonna highlight them all a color to make it a bit more aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, I'm gonna go for kind of cloud aesthetic. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it into sort of like quadrants like that. As I always say, we are gonna make it a little bit more fun to look at and kind of just hit the vibe and aesthetic that we are going for. Okay, gonna reposition this. Love it. Okay. You could call this anywhere, like anything self-care home, like, yeah, you could get creative with the wording here, inspiration hub, something like that, maybe. Okay, so I have a couple items saved here already that I wanted to like talk about. So for example, maybe you have some place in your area that is kind of like a happy place for you. So like, I always think like when you're feeling great, that's when you know, maybe have the insight to be like, oh my God, I always feel so great at like XYZ, or when I'm doing such and such activity. So I feel like write that down. Like then when you meet it one time, you can be like, oh yeah, like that's like a place, like that's such a good reset place for me. So yeah, I like to write stuff like that down. Another one for me is this is like a plug for this YouTube channel that I love. It's called My Analog Journal. Like they post amazing vinyl sets that they just like always, yeah, it always just like raises the vibes when I like listen to them, or I'll be doing work and have them like on in the background or something. So yeah, that's something that in my personal like hub where I do this, that's one of the things that I list. So I'm just obviously spitballing, but this is very like personalized, of course. Just giving examples, but great. Okay, then here you could write books that maybe are on like your to-read list. Specifically like things that you know are kind of like feel good, or like really help you get out of a rut, or yeah, just kind of like reset and like yeah, help you get into the mindset that you want to be in. Then I also saved some of this, and I will show you how to make this as well. So this is called a call out. So you can just like press the slash on Notion and type in call out, and it will create this little box, which you can then change the color. I just like kind of pre-did those ones down below to give you an example to see how you can make it like a color. You can change the icon, and it's almost like a little quote, although mind you, there's also a quote function, so you could also use that instead, and then it'll put it like that. But I kind of think the call outs are more visual and more fun to look at. I think the vibe of this page is going to be kind of a bit of a different color. Maybe we'll do a blue background. And yeah, this is like the part where you can kind of make it a bit of a feel good, like kind of visual thing. So I actually think maybe I'll change this one to inspiration or something like that. And then actually I think I'm gonna change this to a yellow, oh good Lord, that does not look good. I meant to do a yellow background. Cool. I actually don't think the yellow background looks like it either, but whatever. So that's an example. Maybe this is like a little bit long. You want to like kind of narrow it down, keep it more simple. But anyway, you get the drift. It's kind of like a fun way to make it a little bit more inspirational, and yeah, kind of hone into this self-care hub mood board thing. Routines could be routines that you aspire to and that you know make yourself feel great. So let's say exercise, maybe 4 times a week. Maybe meditate daily. You know, it doesn't always have to be like that, like hardcore. Like it could be as simple as like being in nature. So yeah, you get the drift. The kind of things that you want to incorporate into your life to feel like the best you can feel. So yeah, this is sort of like a very, again, simple way to do it. But I think that it's really cool to just like get it all on one page for yourself, and then you can revisit this and be like, oh yeah, like I like never do that anymore. Like I should start to meditate again or something like that. And again, like this could be the hub within your larger wiki. So like within your wiki, you could have like work, like, you know, like administration, finances, self-care. So it's just like a section of probably a broader wiki, but I still think it's really fun to get this all on one page for yourself. And you might even do what I've shown before is, if you like link to this like that, you might want to, within your calendar, actually schedule in time, like maybe on a Sunday, like look over self-care hub and schedule routines throughout week. Link the location of the hub right there. Maybe you don't want to do this every week, but it could be like bi-weekly. So you could do like repeat every 2 weeks on Sunday. And yeah, so then, you know, it's in your schedule to go and actually interact with this page and be like, hey, you know, I haven't been doing any of this. I'm right. Like all of this does make me feel like my best self. This week I'm gonna go to Discovery Park, or this week I'm gonna do some deep work with like a vinyl set in the background, or I'm gonna make sure that at night I'm reading instead of being on my phone, etc. So yeah, hopefully this benefits somebody. And honestly, I think it's really fun to just like get this on paper. Anyway, it gets you in the right headspace. It gets you reflecting on what makes you feel like your best self.